Okay, so we have an update to the food situation, as I had previously explained in the last video. In order to try and figure out a diet for the round goby to consume in an artificial environment, I had to choose a non-cost prohibitive aquarium-ready food. So the three options were the algae wafers from Hikiri, shrimping pellets from Wardley, and tropical fish flakes from Tetra. The fish flakes were compacted into like a solid mass. So we have an interesting kind of situation here where the food has been more or less gathered into one spot, at least the bottom feeder food. This section over here where the flakes are appear to be gone for the most part, but scattered a little bit around. But what I'm also seeing is that food is appearing in places that I did not put it, such as over here in this tube. So it indicates that some of the fish, perhaps the crayfish, maybe the gobies, are moving the food around to areas that they prefer to be. And I'm sorry my camera is not picking up great focus here. But, so I have a feeling that they are eating the food reluctantly so, because they are not getting their main diet of food, which would be very high protein, generally zebra mussels. I know last time I called them mollusks. I meant to say mussels. I apologize for that. It was a little late in the day, so... So, as far as food goes, I'm going to keep monitoring what we have left, see if any of it changes. We keep an eye on the health of the fish as I see them. They are hard to find in the tank because they have several homes, but if you look back here, and I know you guys can't really see it, one fish in there, another fish in there, the third fish is in that one over there. They've all found a home that they've claimed as their own, which is good. They have their own little spots to hide, and I assume they probably bring their food into their tube and consume it. It's going to take some more time and more research. As for the little crayfish that was in here, I don't see him at the moment, but crayfish are excellent at hiding. They can kind of wedge themselves in between the tubes, as I've noticed. Especially the one that I have, he's really small. So the Goby project is doing good so far. I got to talk with an aquatic biologist for the Department of Natural Resources. As of earlier today, I got a lot of information about the round goby that I didn't know before, and as well as some other invasive species in the area. I always enjoy talking to the folks over at the Department of Natural Resources. They're very helpful, very kind. The officers have yet to call me back and let me know whether or not I can keep the goby as an experiment, and so that part is still waiting, but until then I am going to try and keep the gobies alive. I don't really feel like I need to disturb them. They're in there just relaxing. It's hard to say when they will and will not be active, simply because this is an artificial environment, and the lights, since there's no light bar on this tank, the lights have to come from up here. I'm going to try keeping them on for a few hours a day. They burn a lot more electricity, so I got to keep that in mind. They're nocturnal and diurnal, but without some sort of circadian rhythm to kind of go off of, they're kind of going to be in like this weird zone of just weird sleep patterns. So trying to get them on something more regular. But so far everything seems to be going okay. The gobies are alive. They're eating something. If I look at the amount of algae wafer, you can clearly see that the algae wafer has been eaten, because they would be solid discs if they weren't. They're all kind of chomped up, which leads me to believe that the gobies did go for them. There are some frozen peas that are scattered around, but I can't really account for that because frozen peas tend to move around a lot with the current, and there is a lot of current because I have an air stone there, an air stone there, and a 350 gallon per hour hang on back right there. So there is current in this tank. But overall, so far, yeah, I'd say the project is going okay. So that's my short update for what I have right now.